This is a much more tailored sales approach, and it really does allow the customer to see what their stairlift will look like within their home.
Welcome to Third Angle, where home upgrades start with augmented reality. I'm your host, Paul Hames from industrial software company PTC. In this podcast, we share the moments where digital transforms physical and meet the brilliant minds behind some of the most innovative products around the world, each powered by PTC technology. A new TV, sofa, bed? Bringing anything new into your home can be a risk. Will it fit? Will it match my decor? Will I still love it in 6 months' time? This is especially true when you're bringing in something you've never needed before. Stairlifts aren't your standard home accessory, but when mobility is an issue, they're an absolute lifeline. But that doesn't make it any less daunting for those having them installed for the first time. Knowing this, elevator company Stannah has brought in the help of augmented reality. Using a special app, the team is able to show customers exactly what their new stairlift will look like in their home, even down to the fabric type. The technology is truly amazing, and to find out about it and how it works, our reporter, Andy Jones, met Charles Symonds, Digital Product Development Manager at the company's factory in the UK.
Stannah as a business has been around since 1867, founded by Joseph Stannah, which is 155 years ago, so we've had a recent milestone there. Our roots were in the dockyards of London, where Joseph Stannah was designing cranes and hoists for unloading ships and secured a number of patents for his inventions. We moved on from cranes, and then from 1975 we developed our first stairlift product, which we are of course now most famous for. So the factory here at Watt Close in Andover is split into two. One side of our factory is steel fabrication. We have lasers, we have welding going on, and we also have a paint plant. The parts move on from there to the second part of the factory, where we are assembling our chairs and carriages. So this is the production line for the moving element of the product, which consists of a chair for our user, the carriage, which contains the drive assembly and the footrest. So right here we are next to our 260 production line. So this is where we manufacture the carriage or the drive element of our curved stairlift. It's a continuous production line where we have a number of operatives assembling the product. But interestingly, at the very end of that product, we have 100% test, and every product is fully loaded to a payload and goes on a journey along a mini stairlift rail to ensure it's both working correctly and is safe to go out to our customers. So we've seen the factory. As you've seen, this is very much the physical elements of our business. But actually, digital transformation also offers huge opportunity to both build our customer and support our customers. And what's really exciting is we've got a brand new product that we'd like to share with you. So let's go check that out now. Yes, so we've been developing Stannah Engage since 2012. Stannah Engage is our AR application. So we were very early in the sort of adoption of AR to try and support our sales teams and build confidence in the customer and our ability to meet their needs with our products. We are now launching a brand new version of this application. It's moved on a long way since our first app, which was marker-based. The latest app utilizes PTC's Vuforia engine and is completely markerless, which makes it a far more natural experience for use, and we can get very close to the virtual stairlift and start to explain the features of the product and the controls, look at the surface textures of upholsteries, but also we can get a long way away so the customer can get a real appreciation of how this product might look in their home, how the aesthetics of the product or the upholstery choices that they make will sit alongside their home decor choices of wallpaper and carpets, and ultimately build their confidence in Stannah's solution being the best to meet their needs. The original Envisage application, which we launched in 2012, was groundbreaking at the time. It did have some challenges, particularly around needing to keep the tracking marker in shot. We had a QR code which the product was anchored to. If you got too close to this and it dropped out of view, then the product would disappear. If you got too far away from it when trying to compose a nice shot of the product in its surrounding, then the product would become unstable and might become slightly jittery. So moving on and utilizing ground tracking technology really adds a level of robustness and smoothness to the experience. So Stannah Envisage is an application intended to be used by the sales advisor. The first step of the onboarding process is to specify the product. Now the product is specified, we're moving more into the customer elements of the product where they can specify their own choices and start to have their input. The first of those selections is to choose the colour of the rail.
Okay, let's go for a nice silver there. That's looking very attractive, yeah.
Next, we can choose from a number of different chair types. And finally, they can choose the upholstery options that they would like on their chair.
Wow, there's an awful lot of choices here. So not only do you get a visual representation of how it looks in terms of its size and where it fits, you actually get to see the one you would select.
Yes, this is a much more tailored sales approach, and this was one of the big benefits that we thought would materialise from the project. And it really does allow the customer to see what their stairlift will look like within their home, which both helps build engagement and confidence in the purchase.
Excellent. Right, well, I'm a big fan of red, so let's give us a nice red fabric there. I think that looks particularly nice. After
configuring the product, the next step is to utilise the ground tracking engine, and we see some white dots appearing across the floor, and by just smoothly waving the iPad over the floor plane, the product will appear.
Oh, and there it is. Wow, that looks very, very vivid and real to life. And it's exactly the right size in the right place. That's amazing.
The beauty of it being markerless is that we can get very close to the product. We can go in and start exploring both the controls and the function of the product, but we can also start to show surface textures and look at the texture of the upholstery. And as well as getting very close, actually, we can get a long way away from the product. And really, you can see what that product will look like in its environment. Once placed and in position, the sales consultant can try and really sync the product into its natural environment. We have the ability to alter the angle of the rail so that it matches the angle of the customer staircase. We have the ability to alter lighting. So if there is a dominant light source coming in from one direction, then the product shadows can match that. Once we have the product in situ, we can demonstrate lots of the product's functionality. We can show the product in its folded state by folding both the chair and the footrest.
Oh, and it fully animates as well. It doesn't just jump from one state to the other. You see it move in the way that it will when you get it installed.
We've tried to make the product as lifelike as possible. So the folding mechanisms fold the product at a nice smooth rate. We can also rotate the product. So we can show the boarding position and where the customer will get on or off the product. And then finally, we can travel it up the stairs so that they can go on a virtual journey. We've had some great feedback from customers. Those in the property can get a reassurance on the product they're buying. But actually, sometimes the customer isn't at home. They might be in hospital and they may not be able to return home until the stairlift's been installed. And there is a great story of a gentleman who was in hospital, and the sales advisor had been to the property and completed the sales visit and was visiting the gentleman to show them the quote. And he presented the Envisage visualization of his product. And his first reaction was, wow, you've installed it already? Sadly, we haven't, but it was a great reaction. Stannah's real mission is that we're in the business of providing independence by moving people and goods in and around their homes and buildings. But really, it can be that we turn up to a customer and they literally may not have been able to access the upstairs of their home for a period of time. So our products offer them both the freedom to access but also enjoy their home again.
That was Charles Symonds, Digital Product Development Manager at Stannah. Now, as Charles mentioned, Stannah's Envisage application was created using Vuforia Engine, PTC's market-leading augmented reality solution. Let's find out more. Time to meet our expert, JJ Lechleiter, who heads up PTC's AR division. JJ, are you firstly able to give an overview as to what Vuforia is?
Vuforia is really a suite of enterprise AR apps that enable our customers, which are industrial enterprises, to improve the efficiency of their frontline workforce. And that's important because really 75% of the workers globally are actually out there on the front lines. They're working with their hands, they're solving problems, they're building things, they're servicing products. And these workers, they don't have the tools. They haven't had the tools to really have access to the information that they need when they need it. So when they're out there working with their hands, they're working with often outdated methods. When they're training, when they're upskilling themselves, they're working with paper manuals, they're working with procedures that are costly, that are outdated. And in these cases, it's a very time-consuming process to get up to speed, to learn new procedures. And when they're using these outdated training methods, it's really high cost, as you could imagine. They're not up to speed, and you're going to see delays in critical procedures. You're going to see downtime in machinery. You're going to see mistakes made that lead to scrap and rework. And so the Vuforia suite is really aimed at using augmented reality to address these challenges, to accelerate learning process, to reduce training costs, to streamline knowledge capture, the creation of new procedures. And in doing this, we can make the employees, the frontline workers, happier in doing their job. They're using modern technology to get up to speed and level up. And we can keep them safer. We can keep them in compliance with the policies, at their companies. And when they have access to this information through augmented reality, that's information in their field of view on the factory floor, out on a service visit, they can be guided directly through tasks as they're experiencing them with their hands free. And that's a very powerful capability that can enable them to be much more efficient and save money for our customers.
So I realize that Stannah are using Vuforia as a visualization asset, but Vuforia also has a large part to play in the service and manufacturing industries as a whole. Can you just describe the role Vuforia plays, in the service, in the manufacturing capabilities for our customers?
Augmented reality in Vuforia can really be deployed all across the enterprise. There are use cases in engineering and service and manufacturing and sales and marketing, like with Stannah. And what's really interesting to me about the Stannah's opportunity is that they are leveraging the 3D information, the design information for their products for sales and marketing purposes. So all of that same product data that is used to design and build the products actually is a scalable source of content that can be used for sales and marketing as they're talking with their customers. That gives them access to all the configurations and different product versions that their customers can purchase so that they can visualize it in the context of their physical environment. And that same paradigm is what makes augmented reality so important for service and manufacturing use cases. The ability to use existing product data for augmented reality. And when you use augmented reality for manufacturing, we've had customers who are looking to optimize the amount of time it takes to assemble something, to reduce errors, that have run studies when you're using augmented reality to supplement, to train, or in the process of an assembly procedure, that you can actually drive, pretty amazing results. You can take workers who may make several mistakes as they're getting up to speed with a paper manual or a digital instruction manual. And when you provide them the information that they need in the context of the assembly that they're looking to build on the factory floor, they can get through those procedures in less time and with significantly fewer mistakes. And that translates over to significant business gains. Now, there is a lot of different types of augmented reality content that you can provide to a frontline worker for a manufacturing or service use case. By connecting the digital thread, with other product sources from PTC, we can display real-time IoT data in the context of a physical environment, in the context of a live and operating machine, to provide information that's time critical to the frontline worker. We can display content that is configuration managed, meaning it's the actual content that is relative to the machine as built that the frontline worker is working on, that can be custom for all the variations of the machine that exist on the factory floor. And we can capture and produce augmented reality content that is powered by the subject matter expert, actually taking their expertise in the context of the job that they are doing, and then use that to train all of the new frontline workers that might be coming on board and requiring the same training procedures. And we do that in the context of manufacturing environments on the machines, that are sitting out on the factory floor.
Thanks to JJ and to Charles for showing us around Stannah's headquarters. Please rate, review, and subscribe to our bi-weekly Third Angle episodes wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow PTC on LinkedIn and Twitter for future episodes. This is an 1860 production for PTC. Executive producer is Jackie Cook, sound design and editing by Ollie Guiu, location recording by Andy Jones, and music by Rowan Bishop.